Good day, everyone. It's Mr. J here. I know it's been a while, so I just want to this is a part 2 video of the last directional bias video I posted on USD CHF. So I just want to drop an update of what the market has been doing, because I dropped my view what I'm expecting the USD CHF to do after it took out my overall targets for all the sales I was taking then. So I just want to drop an update of what the market has been doing and my trade so far on USD CHF. So let's dive straight into the charts. Alright, so this is actually the last sales that I took on USD CHF. Right, these were all the sales I was taking on USD CHF. Hold on. So this was all the sales I was taking on USD CHF. Then I started buying. You can see this was my initial overall target here, right here. This was my initial overall target. So immediately this market took out this low. I said something for my last video that once market takes out an external low or a major low, a major high, right? Let's say the overall trend of that market is bearish, and market happens to take out one major low or high, a pullback is likely going to happen. But the thing there is what, for you to know when that pullback is going to happen and when it is and where it is going to end. So I posted a video because sometimes here some pullback after market takes out a low, the pullback might be long, it might be very long, but in this case this one was short. So I'm going to be explaining how I was able to start buying, because you can see I was selling before I started buying, then sold again. So I'm going to explain what really happened and how I got all this set up. So I said that for my last video, I said that this is a break of structure. After this last trade here, this was a break of structure here in this inducement and this other block right here. So I said I was expecting this guy to come back into this zone for a new sale to begin. So I was buying all the way to that zone there. So let me go down to the lower time frame to show you what the market has been doing there. All right. So this is it here. So you can see this was the last trade at this market. This was my last trade on this guy. So after this guy took out my target here, I was still expecting sales, okay, but at the same time I was still observing to see what the market was going to do for me to know where I'm going to start buying, because I already have a zone up here that I'm expecting market to come to, right? So you can see right here, I don't know if you guys have paid attention to my trades. You see that I like marking out this stuff like this. So I call it this is a liquidity sweep, right? So like I love to see liquidity sweeps in my setups, right? So this is a liquidity sweep right here. So how did I know that this market was ready to reverse here? First thing I needed to see was, it is not a compulsory for you to see your liquidity sweep, but I saw my liquidity sweep in this setup. After that, I saw my market structure shift. So liquidity sweep means what? Sign of weakness to the downside. So when you see a liquidity sweep, it means that what, this low here is protected, right? That the chances of this market coming to take out this low is very, very low. So after that liquidity sweep, you need to get a market structure shift to back it up. So after the market structure shift, it now confirms everything. Then what? You now need to get your inducement and your POI, right? So you can see right here, I got my sweep, I got my market structure shift, and I got my inducement right here. This was my first pullback here. And I was waiting for market to come back to this other block here, but market missed my entry, right? So as you can see, then I started buying. So I've gotten my reversal pattern that, okay, this market is actually ready to start reversing. So you can see I was just focused on that buy, just looking for how to buy, because I already have a major zone above here that I'm waiting for market to come to. So you can see this one missed my entry, but I got this new break of structure here, inducement, and this breaker block entry here. So this breaker block I used here was actually from the 45 minutes chart. So I got this entry here, then you can see I started buying, right? So after that again, you can see here the same liquidity. Let me delete this. You can see same liquidity sweep here. You can see low, high, sweep, then market structure shift, right? So you can see that same liquidity sweep right there. I saw the same pattern there again with the market structure shift and my inducement, right? So I was waiting for market to come back into this breaker block. So I've gotten my sweep, market structure shift, inducement, and what my POI, right? So I was waiting for market to come back into this level here, right? So you can see I was just buying because market was giving me that bullish structure. So I was just buying till what market will come into this zone here, right? So I kept on buying. So this was my second buy on this pair. My second buy here. This one here was my third buy. This first one I missed the entry. So you can see I kept on looking for ways to buy because I already have where I'm expecting market to get to, right? Because in a downtrend, even if the overall bias of that market is bearish, right? Even if the overall bias is bearish, you can still buy. But you need to know when you are when the market is ready to buy and where you are buying to, right? So you can see I kept on buying. First buy here. So next one, I saw this market structure shift here. MSS. I saw this market structure shift here. This was my initial inducement here, right? So I was waiting for market to come back into this breaker block here, but I missed my but the market missed my entry. So I was still waiting, right? So normally, yeah, if this guy, since this guy took out my inducement, but he did not tap into my POI. If this guy had created something like this here, like an inducement here, or even mitigate this breaker block and push up here, then I will be looking for a buy from somewhere around there. But you can see there is no proper inducement around here. So what does that tell me? That okay, this low is still likely going to be the inducement for this POI to hold. So that was why I was still waiting for this market to come back into this zone here. So I waited for it and the market came back to it and started buying again. You can see started buying, right? So this was actually my last buy for on this guy here. So I had another buy right here. So you can see I had this break of structure here. So I was expecting market to come back to this zone here for me to actually start looking for sales. I had this break of structure here, right? So I was waiting for this guy to come back to this. There was a breaker block here. This was a breaker block I was waiting for here, for market to come back into this zone here. But you can see, so I had my limit order right here, waiting for this guy to come back into this zone here for me to start buying all the way to this level here, because I saw that this market violated this that zone that I was waiting for. So I had it in mind that okay, since this market has violated this zone, I'm still bullish. So I'm still expecting market to keep buying to another higher time frame zone that could reverse the market. So that is basically it here. So this guy pushed up all the way, violated this my zone here and kept on buying, right? So when he started coming down, I had my limit order right here, waiting for market to trigger it, but it missed my entry and started pushing back up again. So on the higher time frame, so I want to show you guys why I switched my buyers and started selling and not take this buy again when this market was coming back down here again. So let me show you something. Let me go back to the higher time frame. Let me use the 4 hour. Network is kind of slow today. Sorry. Alright, so you can see this was the other block that I was expecting market to come to. You can see what this guy did here. The market violated this high here, right? It violated this high aggressively, right? It violated it, but you can see the market failed to close above it with a full body candle. So now you can see this is also that same liquidity sweep. So the market did what? It just took out this high here, created the liquidity sweep around here, rejected and closed below it, and closed below that high. So that is a sign of weakness to the upside, right? So I was waiting to see what the market was going to do. Then again, you can see I had this other block right here. There was this other block right here. You can see this other block right here, right? So this other block here was not that clean. But since this market has missed my entry from here, because I had the buy setup from here. Since this market has missed my entry, right, and it was it pushed up and it is reacting from this guy here, I was like, this guy could actually reverse this market, tally with the fact that there is a liquidity sweep above here, right? So cause if this market wanted to keep buying, it would have taken out this high and closed above it with a full body candle. if it had done something like that, it would have been better, right? But the market failed to do something like that. So immediately, I still had this buy here. I still had this buy because now I'm already getting two direction for this particular pair. I'm getting a buy. I had a buy here, and now I'm seeing another sell here. So what did I do? So that this is the daily order, the higher time frame order block right there. So I waited for the market to do what? To tap into that order block. Then I said that, okay, since this guy is pushing up here, so I already marked this level here as a missed entry. I already marked this trade here as a missed entry, right? Since it did not tap into my PO, and it is pushing up aggressively, I marked it as a missed entry. So now I was still like saying, okay, this is a missed entry, but this guy could actually still come back here to push up again using this low here as a liquidity. So what did the market do? Since he did not take out this high here, I was like, okay, yeah, this trade still had potential to still work out, but I was not too sure about the buyers at this moment. So I had this setup here, so I was like, okay, let this market come back to this level here and give me my confirmation entry, right? So I waited for my confirmation entry. This like the only time I use confirmation entry is one if I'm already getting like two buyers at the same time, like I'm getting a sell and I'm getting a buy, stuff like that. So I can just like, okay, yeah, which one has more probability, like which one does the confidence makes more sense to hold. That one I can enter that one aggressively, then the other one I can use confirmation entry for the other one. So I had I was waiting for confirmation entry. I did not enter from this zone aggressively, although this is a break of structure here and this is inducement, or you can call this one safe here, this one down here in market structure shift. But I was not considering that one as a valid structure, because the structure for this setup here is not too clean. I don't like taking trades where the structure, I cannot like identify a proper break of structure or a proper market structure shift. If I'm trading reversal, I like to see a market structure shift or a clean break of structure. But I cannot identify a clean break of structure, or even the inducement is not even clean enough. So this sell setup was kind of confusing, but I was still like observing. So I said, okay, I was going to wait for my confirmation entry to form, right? Which was how I got this setup here, this first sale here. So you can see right here, market created. You can see how this guy was pushing up to that zone. We have this high, low, high again, and a low, right? So this is what a market another high, then what a market structure shift right here, then our first pullback, our inducement, right? The market sold all the way to the downside. So there was an order block around here, so that's why I picked my entry from that order block, and what market started selling. Now if you pay attention, now you can see I did not set my take profits all the way down here because I was feeling like the market was going. No, I set my take profit on this same zone here, because as I was still like looking out for this zone, because this zone is still likely going to cause a reversal. So what did I do? I took my profit at this level here, and I was waiting for market to immediately did this market hit my take profit. I was waiting. Then I was like, okay, let me see what this guy is going to do here. If this guy creates and gives me a confirmation entry here, I'm going to take a buy. But you can see there was no confirmation entry right here. So I had this sell here. This, you can see here, I had this this is the structure of the market. We have this low, high, low, high, low, then what market structure shifts, inducement, then sell. Then you can see this breaker block entry here, market tapped on it. So you can see that same stuff again, liquidity sweep. High is protected, so that's why I entered for this sell here. So normally here I would have taken my profit around here. But what happened? I was like, okay, let me see what this guy was going to do here, right? Let me see how this guy is going to react from this level here. So this was just on break even, and this guy was just waiting for this guy to just do his thing. So if this guy hits my break even, good. If it violates it, good, because the sell structure is already looking good, and now this buy zone here is just like a zone that could cause a reaction. So I was just like playing it safe, right? So I had my break even here and still left the take profit open. So you can see what market did here. It violated the zone aggressively and started selling. So this sale was from this other block right here. There was a breaker block there, yeah, it was was that place? I think it was here. Yeah, it was from this breaker block right here. Let me delete this. So it was from this breaker block here. You can see this inducement here. This breaker block is the closest to this inducement here. So I had this sell from this place here. You can see. So my initial target for this guy was for this market to take out all this low here. Was for this market to take out this low here, right? Because remember, when I had this sell here, my target was for market to take out this low right here. Sorry, was for market to take out this low right here. But what did the market do? The market did not take out the low, but I got like about 3 sell opportunity in that range. This is also a directional bias. For like about 3 days, I had like 3 sell opportunity until what? This market got to this other block here. You can see this is like an other block, this break of structure here, liquidity. This is not the liquidity here. This is not the liquidity. Market started reacting from this other block here. I had no idea, like I was not even focused on this other block. My target was for market to what? Take out this whole low here. This low here. That was where my target was, but the market had other plans. So you can see the market started pushing up, and what I had this break of structure here. So I was not like, okay, where is this market likely going to sell from again? So I was like, okay, yeah, I was waiting for this market to come back into this zone here. But you can see the market pushed up. So this was my inducement. This high here was my inducement, right? But you can see as the market was pushing up, it just took out the inducement and started selling, then gave me this market structure, internal market structure shift. So I was like, yeah, let me start taking sales. You understand? So I had my structure shift. So I was looking for sales. At the same time, I had this buy to sell setup here, break of structure, liquidity, breaker block entry for this buy here. So you can see, then I had this sell setup here. So all my take profit for this two was here. So let me bring this down here. So I had this sell setup right here, right? So you can see what the market did. It triggered my sell. It was selling. I had another entry. They were selling until what? Market got to this level here, reversed and hit my break even. I did not hit SF for this two setup. It hit my break even, right? So that was it. So you can see at this point in time, the directional bias for this setup was kind of confusing for me. So I was just like moving with the flow of the market. Then you can see market created this break of structure here and started giving us bullish structure. So sometimes when it comes to directional bias and the market here, it tends to like move with the flow of the market. You don't need to always focus on what you want the market to do. Sometimes you need to focus on what the market is doing. Yes, you have a directional bias. You have where you're expecting this market to go to, but at the same time, don't focus only on that thing that this thing must happen. I want this thing to happen, and you lose sight of what the market is currently doing or the patterns the market is giving to you. The pattern, all this the current market structure, like what the market is currently doing. It is very, very important you pay attention to it. So you can see market started giving out all this bullish structure. At this point, I was not even like active on this USDCHF. So when I started selling again, this was my next sell here. I got this liquidity sweep here, sign of my reversal, structure shift, liquidity. Then this was my next trade here. Next one here, break of structure, liquidity, and sell. Before what? Market started pushing up again. So I don't want to make this video to be too long. My main focus was to give you guys an update of what happened here, how I was buying from here, and how I was selling from here. So that is basically it for today. Thank you.